Imagine a spiritual path that honors the universal truths in all religions, that sees we are all one. Imagine a movement that respects each person's right to choose their spiritual path. Imagine a spiritual movement that empowers and unites rather than divides. This is unity. For more than a century, unity has offered a positive, practical, and progressive approach to understanding and applying the teachings of Jesus and other spiritual masters. Unity is non-dogmatic and inclusive. Are you a Christian with questions, or just spiritually seeking? Are you curious to explore the universal truths that Jesus embodied and taught, concepts that extend beyond traditional Christian theology? Learn how unity bridges Eastern and Western philosophy, and how it can change your life. Experience God consciousness. Raise your awareness. Live more abundantly. We invite you to explore our network of churches and study centers and our world headquarters at Unity Village. Call or email anytime for prayer support.
Each and every person has inborn God-given powers. We can change our lives by learning to use these powers consciously and intentionally. The way we use or misuse these powers shapes our reality. Connect with your higher self. Connect with the divine.
Welcome to the month of October, the month of zeal. Zeal is the enthusiasm or the mighty force behind all things in the universe. It is a powerful expression of a living interest. It is active and vital. Enthusiasm is another word for zeal, and zeal is a great stimulator of man. You cannot think or repeat the word zeal, zeal, zeal without evoking a certain mental thrill that spurs you into action in some direction. I am zealous about living this life. I am zealous about accomplishing my goals. I am zealous as I walk my spiritual path, excited and enthusiastic about everything that I do. So right here and right now, I shall take a moment and express my zealousness to that creative force that I call God. I am zealous. I am zealous. I am zealous about all that I do. I am zealous when I have an opportunity to help and assist someone. I am zealous when I get to show my God self to someone in need. I am zealous. I am enthusiastic. I am ready to live my life in the best and highest manner that is possible for me. And so it shall forever be. Amen.
Welcome to Unity of Chicago South Spiritual Community, live stream and on demand. This is Reverend R. Ken, and I want to thank Reverend Bobby for his wonderful introduction to this month's principle, Zeal. Our affirmation of truth today will be brought to you by Reverend Dr. Stephanie Wilson Coleman, followed by today's message. And a special treat, a prosperity reminder has been added to our service. Enjoy and thank you so much for celebrating with us.
Do I desire? What will bring me to my highest good? What do I want? What do I desire? What will bring me to my highest good? Prosperity, prosperity. I claim it, I claim it. Abundance, abundance is mine, is mine. Love, love flows through me, flows through me. I feel joy, all the time, all the time. I can have it, I can have it. I deserve it, I deserve it. I claim it, I claim it. It is mine, it is mine. I can have it, I can have it. I deserve it, I deserve it. I am it, I am it. It is mine, it is mine. Peace, peace fills my heart, fills my heart. I surrender, I surrender everything, everything. Health, health It is mine. It is mine. I can have it. I can have it. I deserve it. I deserve it. I am it. I am it. It's my time. It's my time. Break it on down. Anything I want, anything I desire, anything that brings me to my highest good. Anything I want, anything I desire, anything that brings me to my highest good. I release, and let go, I accept, what is mine, I can have, what I want, and let spirit direct the flow. Life is good. Life is fun. Life is great. This song is done.
This is an open letter to Black America from Unity Ministers. We love you, and we embrace our responsibility to eradicate racism. It is our divine appointment to stand with you, to see you,
to hear you,
to listen,
to be in conversation with you,
to be with your anger without judgment,
to know your sacred worth,
to acknowledge my privilege,
to take responsibility,
to confront complacency,
to back my words with action, palabras con acción,
to be accountable for effecting change in my community,
to support Black-owned businesses,
to be a bender of the arc of the moral universe that bends toward justice,
to demand the end of police brutality,
to use my voice and my vote to end systemic racism,
to hold you and our country in prayer,
to be a call to action,
to be a voice for justice,
to be a voice for unity.
Unity of Chicago South Spiritual Community. Thanks everyone watching today's celebration. We appreciate your support. Your financial support helps us sustain and grow this Beyond Walls ministry. UCS accepts your financial support online or by mail. You may use the Cash App, Unity Chicago South. You may select Unity of Chicago South from the Give Lifey app found on our website, www.unityocs.org. You can also mail donations to Unity of Chicago South. The mailing address is 1448 East 52nd Street Suite 132 Chicago, Illinois 60615. Continue watching this online space, donate your support and spread the word that Unity of Chicago South is Beyond Walls online. Health and wellness to each and every one of you.
see the beauty in you. I see the power in you. I see the greatness in you, and so it is. I see the child in you. I see the sweetness in you. I see the softness in you, and so it is. I can see it. It's right there before me. I can feel it deep in my soul. I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic and power and pure sweet love. I see the goodness in you. I see the wisdom in you. I see the strength in you, and so it is. I see the joy that's in you. I see your light shining through. I see the love that's in you, and so it is. I can see it. It's right there before me. I can feel it deep in my soul. I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic and power and pure sweet love. I see the grace that's in you. I see the courage in you, and I see the heart that's in you, and so it is. And I see the beauty in you. I see the power in you. I see the greatness in you, and so it is. I see the beauty in you. I see the beauty in you. I see the power in you. I see the power in you. And I see the greatness in you. I see the greatness in you. And I see the goodness in you now. I see the goodness in you. And I see the wisdom in you. I see the wisdom in you. Oh, I see your strength, your strength. I see the strength in you. And I see your joy, joy, joy. I see the joy in you. And I see your light shining, light. I see the light in you. And I feel the love that's in you. I see the love in you. And I see the grace that's in you. I see the grace in you. And I see the courage in you. I see the courage in you. And I see the heart in you. I see the heart in you. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is.
Take a deep breath and close your eyes gently. With the next breath, feel your body relaxing as you allow any tension to dissolve into the quietness of this moment. Inhale and exhale. With the next breath, see yourself relaxing by a beautiful, calm lake. A breeze softly blows over the lake, and you watch the thousands of tiny ripples it creates on the surface of the lake. As you inhale and exhale, you are filled with the calm and pleasant feeling of complete peace. Your mind is clear and your body is relaxed, allowing the peacefulness to transform any worries, disturbing thoughts, or sadness. Inhale and exhale. As this breeze continues to float over the water, feel spirit in the midst of everything. There are no successes. There are no failures. There is just spirit. With the next breath, feel the activity of zeal, knowing that this mighty force incites the winds, the tides, the storms, while urging us to freely and more confidently move toward our greatness. With the next breath, keep your focus on this infinite kindness. Spirit is in the midst of everything, and everything is spirit. Inhale and exhale. Now open your eyes and return to this place, knowing that with spirit, we will never want for any good thing. Namaste.
Wow, good morning, good morning, good morning. I am so happy to be with you today, and every day is a great day to be on the planet as we take a moment of silence for the over 210,000 folks who are no longer on the planet because of an unfortunate handling of a pandemic. Welcome. I'm Reverend R. Ken Turner, Senior Minister at Unity of Chicago South. We are a online, on-demand ministry, spiritual community, I'd like to say. I don't like to say we are online, on-demand spiritual community. And I'm honored to be with you at this time. I want to remind you of the who and what you really are before we even get started. You are a divine being. And when you know that there's an infinite source that's available to you as it is to everyone else who seeks it, and know that it's there no matter your race, your gender, or your religion or non-religion. You can believe what you may, but know that the source of the universe is also the source of each of us. Therefore, the principle supporting the stars is the principle supporting each of us. And it is available to each of us. Know that to be so. Declare it to be so in your life, in your mind, and so it becomes. Wow. I tell you, what a week. We've done some super duper things. I want to bring you up to them before we get into the crux of the message today. Again, I'm Reverend R. Ken Turner, Senior Minister at Unity of Chicago South, a online, on-demand, streaming spiritual community. We have been talking about our podcast. Three of the ministers at Unity of Chicago South had decided to come together and create this dynamic podcast called Inner Quest. And we now have our first introduction edition ready to be in the can. There's a few more steps to do. The plan is to have it ready in the can by Wednesday and have it out before next Sunday to bring it to you next Sunday. So those of you that get our newsletter, you'll get an announcement of how to get it, where to get it. It will be on Anchor. And I want to remind you that the links that you see during the opening of our celebration, our live stream, those links are there for you. If you hear terminology during the course of our celebration, our message, and the songs that you may not be familiar with, you probably will get more information about them by going over to our links, looking up the Revealing Word, the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. I believe there's something over there with Holmes, the founder of Religious Science. So it's free. It's open to anyone and everyone. You don't have to have an email. We don't ask for any information. You just go over there, download or browse the resources at your pleasure. Again, no obligation on your part at all. There's no need to give an email or anything like that to do it. Also, a new piece that you may have picked up on if you've been here since the beginning of today's stream, and that is a song about prosperity. Now, when people think about New Thought and metaphysics, they think that many times that prosperity is the focus, and they think that financial prosperity is the focus. Well, financial prosperity is part of an overall prosperity. And I thought it would be a good idea that if we just had a little reminder that we could bring forth during the course of our celebration to remind you of who you are and what you deserve, and the fact that all the possibilities, even during these times, still exist for you. And then finally, we are also streaming on Instagram this week. It's our first time on Instagram. We're working it out. We're going to see how it comes out, see how it works out, and then we'll be able to bring that link to you also. Again, the podcast is called Inner Quest. It'll be up on Anchor and any place that you get your podcast from. And the unique part about our podcast is the fact that we offer you an opportunity to join in prayer with us, or we join in prayer with you to address some of the needs and issues that are in your life. We do it in a very unique way through text and through email. It is not a podcast about prayer. It is a podcast that offers the opportunity for you to receive prayer and treatment individually on a private basis during the course of the week. So you want to stay tuned for that. Wow. 90 years ago, can you think of it? 90 years ago, the first edition of what Charles Fillmore wrote, known as the 12 Powers of Man, was published almost 100 years, right? 1930. Now, to my knowledge, my understanding, I'm not saying that it never happened, but based on what I understand and what I know, Fillmore nor anyone before him referred to these 12 powers using the term spiritual DNA. But 12 powers do in fact represent aspects of our spiritual DNA. Now, the thing to know about DNA is that DNA is a molecule that contains the genetic code of organisms, our genetic code. Now, the DNA that's contained in each cell of every person instructs the cell which protein to make. And that's so important because protein form the basis of living tissue. See, protein helps repair, build our body tissues. Protein allows for the metabolic reactions to take place. It coordinates our bodily functions. Protein maintains the proper pH and fluid balance. See, physical DNA directs our cells to create all the important life foundation of protein. So all the proteins needed, the DNA directs our cells to create it, whichever one is needed. Now, religious science founder Ernest Holmes defines spirit as this. He says it's this life essence which permeates all persons and all things. And going to that revealing word that I mentioned earlier that you found on our website, and we take one of Fillmore's definition of spirit, and we use it as a starting point to stretch the concept and the idea and the description of spirit out. We can say that spirit can be described as an unlocatable intellect or responsive part of a person. Now, if it's unlocatable, that makes it an invisible intelligence that's responsive to the human being. An invisible, intelligent human aspect that responds to our physical needs, and it does so by directing itself to produce the path to the fulfillment of our needs. So it creates a path so we can fulfill and have our needs. It directs itself to help us repair physically, emotionally, and mentally. Remember, we're talking about spiritual DNA. It guides our reaction to various situations that we encounter, removing us from harmful situations. It coordinates our functioning as receivers and givers of good. And it maintains the proper pH and spiritual balance as we conduct our daily spiritual practice. So it's our spiritual practice that helps that balance. I'm speaking of the spiritual DNA, the 12 powers, 12 aspects of our spiritual DNA. Now, many of you are familiar with the term chakra centers. And you understand that they represent energy centers within the body. Well, so it is with the 12 powers. They are energy centers in the body also. In fact, Charles Fillmore provides an outline of the physical location in the body of these spiritual DNA aspects. The powers are the aspects. Now we want to understand that these 12 aspect locations in the body, they represent what Holmes calls the atmosphere of God in human consciousness. Our spiritual DNA becomes active beyond its divinely encoded directive, see, the presence of God in consciousness, as we work to consciously activate and integrate the various aspects into our lives. Now, principle, I want to talk about that. What principle is? Principle is the I am, or our divine nature, the divine nature of every human being. And from principle, that which is invisible becomes visible, is manifest. So principle is how manifesting is done, how it's made. And it is through that I am, through that divinity, that we find our own spiritual DNA. Now let's understand that within that spiritual DNA lie the seven chakra energy centers, as well as the divine aspects of the 12 power centers. The principle, the principle of zeal represents one of those divine aspects within our spiritual DNA. Now, what is zeal? Zeal is the energy of that I am, from which the inner urge to do to accomplish is emitted. So that urge that I want to be something, do something, is coming from that I am, that inner urge. That inner urge follows the law of manifestation. The law of manifestation says, from within to without, from the unseen to the seen, from the invisible to the visible. See, zeal raises up from within to external expression. Truly, being enthusiastic is really an expression of the inner excitement that we have. An excitement that has connected with an idea or a task, and the excitement is to move that idea or task forward and just kind of take us along for the spiritual ride of manifestation. So the biggest thing to remember is that this zeal is coming from within. It's a spiritual principle. It's already working, but we can consciously connect with it and evolve it even further in our lives. Spiritual DNA producing the protein for living life. How does it do it? Through formulating combinations of its 12 aspects. That's our job. See, we have to bring them together, because just take one, for instance. Zeal without wisdom can actually run us crazy, run us wild, just burn us out. So it's when we connect zeal and wisdom together that we have it tempered so that it will manifest in the right way in our lives and not overtake us. You say, well, how do you do that? Well, when we ask to be excited, when we ask to really be involved in a situation, in an idea, remember that we should also ask for the wisdom to go along with it. The wisdom to go along with it. Yes, yes. Now, in addition to wisdom and zeal, another combination is zeal and love. That excitement. You say, well, I can get that. I can understand that. You know, I when I'm in love or when I feel love, I do get excited. So yeah, I see how that works, but I'm not speaking of that aspect of love. I'm speaking of a different aspect of love, a different aspect of love, a totally different one, but one that we say that is part of love. One, we say it that it is, but do we really mean that it is? Do we really mean that it is? So you see, this aspect of love that I'm speaking of is the aspect of love that is harmony. You see, when we have harmony with the situations and with our lives, and we have zeal, then that love, that harmony allows us to blend so that we can get through the rough times, so we can go through the rough roads. We can go over them and find smooth patches because of the harmony that's in our heart, along with the energy to go forth, the zeal to go forth. And when we keep on going, we find that those rough patches dissipate, and eventually those smooth patches come together to give us a road that we can navigate into the desires that we want manifesting in our lives. Another combination is when we add sparkle through sincerity and honesty, along with zeal. We had sparkle and energy to our soul. Wow. So the combination of wisdom and zeal, the combination of love and zeal, and then adding in sincerity and commitment with zeal. All combinations that we find within us. Part of those 12 aspects and how we put them together to create the dynamic that we want in life. Zeal. One of the 12 aspects of our spiritual DNA. Zeal, the urge to do, to produce, to be. Zeal, the power that moves us forward to achieving. Zeal, the behind-the-scenes energy of all that is visible in the universe. So, as we wind this down, understand that it is not your zeal that we're speaking of, but we're talking about the spiritual principle that's already in you, the zeal of the Creator. And we're saying that when you work consciously to connect with the zeal that is already in place, the zeal of the Creator, you're not creating zeal, it's already there. You're releasing it at best. When you do that, you then have the power, the divine power to move through the challenges, to move around, to move over, to move under if necessary, whatever is facing you. But balance it. Well, you've had a room full of zeal, let us say, today. I want to thank Reverend Bobby again for giving us a wonderful, wonderful introduction to the principle of zeal. I hope that you can appreciate having these prosperity points. As I mentioned, we're going to continue doing that. And again, I have zeal, enthusiasm for the podcast, and I'm excited about bringing it to you. The work that we have done and the work that we will be doing with it is very exciting work, and we will keep our zeal up so that we can remain enthusiastic. I want to say thank you so much for being a part and bringing your divine selfhood to today's celebration. I wish that your days be full of joy and your nights be full of peace. Declare that to be so, and so it becomes. Blessings and bliss. Namaste from Reverend R. Ken of Unity of Chicago South Spiritual Community.